Hello everyone, it's Miss Vanessa here with my yoga time. This class is for students ages 5 through 7, and it's best if it's practiced with a child and an adult together. And we will be following along with pages from this book, which is called it's called Yoga Story by Itzik Oran. Today, the story is The Warrior Who Guarded the Forest. Before we begin, a few things to think about. Make sure you're wearing comfortable clothes so you can move around. Also, great to have a mat on the ground or practice on a soft surface like a carpet. Also, we have been following along with this book, so we have pre-recorded classes that start at the beginning of the book and then bring it all the way to this. So if you haven't taken this class before, go ahead and check if you can find other classes in our series. Ready to get going? The Warrior Who Guarded the Forest. So this story is about a warrior. So we're going to explore the warrior pose. Before we start, why don't we move around a little bit? Stand up if you're not already. Open your arms to the side and let's just rock a little back and forth and back and forth. Can you start to bring your arms up over your head a little bit? Up and down, up and down, side to side. All right, let's stop in the middle and then can you reach your arms all the way up and come maybe all the way on your tippy toes. See how high you can get. Try to touch your ceiling and take a deep breath in. And then dive forward, bend your knees and relax your arms. Maybe you sway a little side to side over your legs. Can you catch your elbows and feel a stretch in your backside? Take a breath in and a breath out. Let the arms go and slowly come on up to stand. Let's roll our shoulders a little. Up and down, up and down. Up, back and down. Up, back and down. And let's go forward. Up, forward and down. Roll your shoulders forward. 3, 2, and 1. Give yourself a little shake. Shake out your arms and shake out your legs. Great job, everyone. So we're going to review some of the poses that you already know, all right? Do you remember the elephant from last week? He has a long trunk in front of him. He brings his trunk up. Can you bring your trunk up over your head? And bring your trunk down and hang your trunk down. Let's do it a couple more times. Elephant trunk comes up. Elephant trunk goes down. Twice more. Elephant trunk comes up. Elephant trunk comes down. Wave it a little side to side and come on up to stand. Good job, everyone. Now another pose that we'll explore in this story is our tree pose. You remember the tree pose? So you balance on one foot, have your hands on your hips to start, and bring the other knee out to the side. That's great. If you like, you can try to bring your foot up onto the inner part of your leg. See if you can balance. When you're ready, you might bring your hands to your heart, keep them at your hips, or make some branches to your beautiful tree. Take one more deep breath wherever you are, and let it go. Bring your foot back to the ground, and we'll just go straight into the other side. So balance on one foot, opposite knee out to the side. Your toes can even stay on the mat, or bring them up to the inner part of your leg. Oh, it's okay if you lose balance. You can just come back to wherever you can. When you're ready, perhaps your hands are at your heart or on your hips. And let's make some branches for our tree. Good job. Let's take one more breath. All right, and let it go. Both feet down to the ground. Awesome job, everybody. So, our main character in this story is the warrior. Let's try our warrior pose. So, you'll have your feet really wide. Turn your right toes towards the right, and your left toes will still be facing straight back and forth. Make your feet really wide as you can, but still be standing. Extend your arms out to the side and bend your right knee. You might need to make it a little bit wider. Reach your arms and bend your front knee. This is our warrior pose. Nice job, everyone. Can you look out over your finger and imagine you're a warrior? One more breath here. And let's relax our arms, straighten the right leg, and rotate your toes to the side. And we're going to do the whole thing on the other side. So point your left toes to the left, your right toes still point forward, arms out to the side. Strong warrior, you bend your front knee. Look out over your fingertip and take a few breaths. Feel very proud and strong. Imagine you're a warrior in the forest. 3, 2, and 1. Good job, everyone. Let's let that go. Straighten the leg and heel toe your feet back to center. Okay, there's another very important animal in this, or character I should say, in this story. So it's the monkey. We're going to do our monkey, we're going to come onto our knees and straighten your front leg. Very good. You can have your hands on your hips or under your armpits like a monkey. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You can straighten your front leg if that's okay with you. And this is our monkey pose. If you want to try, you can lean a little bit forward. And imagine you're a monkey. Whoop, 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 whoop. Good job, everyone. Let's do the other side. Bend your knee. Step the opposite leg forward. Flex your toes towards you. Arms can come under the armpit. Take a breath in. Maybe your hips come back and you lean forward. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. You're a monkey. Woo, woo. What do monkeys sound like and what are the funny shapes that they take? Woo, woo, woo. All right, when you're ready, come on back. Good job. All right, why don't we get into our story? So, this is called The Warrior Who Guarded the Forest. I can show you the pictures. There's the warrior, the monkey, the elephant, the boat, which we'll get to later, and see we have a tree here in the background. In a great big jungle lived a warrior who was a good friend to all the animals, the trees, and the plants. He built his home on top of the tallest tree in the forest and would overlook everything around. Wow, should we try our tree again? All right, stand like a tall tree. Let's balance on one foot and the opposite knee out to the side. Can you be the warrior looking out from the top of the tree? What do you see? Let's do the other side. Relax the leg, bring the opposite knee out to the side, and imagine you're a warrior. You've built your home in the top of the tree. What do you see? What do you see? And let it go. Good job, everybody. We've got our tree house, the warrior's tree house. And at his tree house, on the top of the tall tree, also lived the monkey. His name was Hanuman, and he was the warrior's best friend. Each morning when he saw the warrior, the monkey would greet him hello as he stood on his legs, banging on his chest and saying, ooh, ah, ee, ooh, ah, ee, ooh. He always did this a few times. That would be a funny way to wake up in the morning. Monkey, out of your window. The monkey was trained to make sure to pick up and gather food for the warrior. Isn't that nice? Various nuts, fruits, and roots. He would do it while swinging from one tree to the next in a funny and quite quickly. After Hanuman Monkey would gather the food for the warrior, he would climb up and place the food on a large bowl set on a wooden table, which the warrior built. Isn't that nice? Okay, let's try a few of the poses that have been in the story so far. Ready? So we are going to try the monkey pose again. All right, let's go back onto our knees. Hands can start on your hips. They can stay there too if you like. Straighten your right leg, or bend your right knee, sorry, put your foot in front of you, flex your toes, and you're a monkey. Woo, 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 woo. He's going from tree to tree. Can you imagine you're a monkey in the forest going through the trees and gathering up the fruit for your human? All right, let's go back. Let's go to the other side. Straighten your left leg, flex your toes. Can you imagine you're a monkey? Whoop, 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 whoop. Going from tree to tree, a branch to branch, gathering food for your warrior. And let's come back to center. There was something else that was mentioned. It said that the warrior had built a table in his house. Can I show you the table pose? We're going to take a seat for this one. Let's warm up a second. Straighten your legs and just bend your feet, your knees a little bit. Boop, 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 boop. Rock your feet a little side to side, side to side. Good job. Now bend your knees, place your feet on the ground, and your hands behind you. Your fingertips will point towards your toes, or if it's more comfortable, they can point away. Usually towards the toes will probably feel better for your wrists. Press down through your hands, through your feet, and see if you can lift your hips up. This is a table. Can you imagine the monkey bringing fruit and nuts to the warrior on his table? Imagine it right there on your belly. Let's hold it for 3, 2, take one more breath in, and let it go. Good job, everybody. All right, let's continue with our story. The warrior, who was also friends with a big elephant called Ganesh, who was the leader of the elephants in the forest. He would ride him every day, roam the forest, and make sure that everything was going well. When the warrior wanted Ganesh to arrive, he would whistle loudly, and the elephant would hear him come. Isn't that fun? The warrior would ride on the elephant. So let's try this. Let's try our elephant pose again. So bring your trunk out in front of you. Let's bring your trunk all the way up. Trunk all the way down. One more time. Trunk up. Trunk down. That's my elephant sound. If you have a different elephant sound, that's fine too. All right, come on up to stand. So now let's open our legs out to the side, toes point out, and we're going to imagine we're going to ride this elephant. So bend your knees and imagine you're the warrior riding on the elephant. Can you whistle for the elephant? I think that sounds like the elephant. Can you whistle? Let's hear you. And you're riding on the elephant, And that's great. Let's see what else happens in our story. All right, so he would whistle for the elephant to come, and when the warrior would leave his home, he always took his bow and arrow with him, in case he might need them in the forest, which would be dangerous. There's a few ways we can explore the bow and arrow. Ready? One way is just to bring our bodies into a pose called bow pose. So we start on our knees. Bring one foot out to the side. And bring your right foot out to the side and your left hand behind you. Your left hand to the ground. The right arm comes up. And this is bow pose. If you want, you can reach your arm over your head. Imagine the side of your body is shaped like a bow and arrow. Take one more breath here. And one more breath out. Slowly make your way back up. And bring both knees to the ground. Let's do it on the other side. Straighten the left leg. Bring your right hand down to the mat and straighten your left hand up. Here you are, bow and arrow. If you like, you can reach the arm over your head and you're really like a long bow pose. Let's take one breath here and slowly make your way back up to your knees. Good job, everyone. So now remember, that was the bow, but the warrior also had the bow and arrow on him. Let's try being the warrior again. Come on up to stand. Separate your feet pretty wide. Point your right toes to the right. Your left toes point forward. Maybe get a little longer. Arms out. Bend your right knee. We're in our warrior pose. And this time, let's try for the bow and arrow. So your back hand is going to reach forward, clap your front hand, and can you pull your bow and arrow back? Imagine where you're going to shoot, and let the bow and arrow go. Back to the warrior. Let's sit into it for one breath in and one breath out. Come on up to stand, and we'll do it on the other side. Good job, everyone. Point your right toes forward and your left toes left. Bend your left knee this time. Arms out. Let's make our warrior. Take a breath here and look to the left. When you're ready, your right hand comes forward, claps your left hand. Can you pull your elbow back? Ooh, you got your bow and arrow. What do you see? What can you shoot? Do you see a bird maybe? And let it go. Bow goes and sit back into your warrior for one breath. Last breath out. Oh, come on up to stand. You can heel toe your feet back together and let's continue with our story. All right. Let's see, where were we? Each morning, the warrior would go on a tour of the giant forest on the back of Ganesh the elephant. Hanuman would join them and sit on the elephant along with the warrior. Since Ganesh would start galloping, the warrior would hold tightly to his ears so he wouldn't fall back as they galloped. Oh my goodness, can we imagine galloping again? On a big elephant and holding on to its ears? That might be a little scary, huh? But this is just make-believe, so that's okay. Okay, let's continue. One day, after an hour of riding through the forest, they reached a clearing and saw something unusual happening. A great lion and a huge cobra were standing in front of each other in a threatening pose. The lion roared at the cobra, and the snake lifted himself up, ready to attack the lion. Oh my goodness. So, there are a couple poses that we've done in other classes. We have the lion and the cobra. Do you remember? It's okay if not. Let's try them again. So, with the lion, you are going to come onto your knees. Take a seat, and we're going to bring our hands up at our sides. Close the fist to start. Imagine you have a lion's mane. Close your eyes, close your lips. And then when you're ready, open your eyes really wide, open your hands, and you can let your tongue even come out. Roar like a lion. Can you imagine you're a lion trying to get the cobra in the forest? Let's try it one more time. Close everything up, open up. Good job, everyone. And then we have the cobra. You're going to lay all the way onto your belly, bring your hands down, come onto the hands and knees. Bring your hips to the mat and your forehead all the way down. Your elbows will point up. Squeeze your legs together so you have a long cobra tail. When you breathe in, can you lift your upper body like a snake? Imagine you're slithering. You're slithering to the lion. See if you can lift a little higher, a little lower, side to side. What is the sound of the snake makes? Take one more breath in, maybe lift a little higher, and bring your forehead back down to the ground. And let's just press back to a child's pose from here. Press through your hands, let your hips come back. Take a couple breaths in your child's pose. 3, 2, and 1. Roll on up to seated. Good job. So we've got our lion and our snake, and they're in the woods. And the warrior comes upon them. Let's see what happens next. Here we go. The warrior listened to the claims of the lion and the cobra against each other. Funny and silly claims about who would move first and the other would pass through. The wise warrior asked each of them to move a bit to the right, clearing the way so they could each move on, and the brutal and unnecessary fight was prevented. Isn't that great? So we have no fight between the lion and the cobra. From there, the elephant, monkey, and warrior continued to bathe in the lake and drink from the water. The elephant filled its trunk with water and surprised them by spraying water at them from behind. It was funny, which made Hanuman, the monkey, jump with joy and once again yell, "Ooh, ee, ooh, ha, 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 ha." After they drank and bathed, the warrior put his canoe boat, which he had made out of an old tree trunk, into the lake and rowed, using a long paddle. All right, so there's a few things going on here. Do you remember our boat pose? Let's try it. So we have the warrior, he, and the elephant and the monkey. Let's try the elephant one more time. Elephant trunk out. Ready? Arms up. Breath in. Exhale, bring it down. Can you gather up some water like he does in the story and bring it up? Big spray, bring it down. One more time, bring your elephant trunk up. Big spray, bring it down. Good job, everybody. All right, let's take a seat and find our canoe boat. So your hips are on the ground, your knees are bent, your feet on the ground, your hands point behind you, similar to our table pose. Let's actually try our table pose. Lift your hips up. Good job. We've got the table. And then bring your hips back down. You can grab hold of the backs of your legs and lean back. Point your toes. Here's your boat pose. If you want to try, you can lift your legs up. Good job. If you want to try, you can even let your arms go. But for our rowing, let's bring our feet back to the mat. We'll stay leaning back. Bring your arms forward. Take a breath. And let's row on one side. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Let's go to the other side. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Let's come back to our center and take a quick seat. Good job, everybody. Let's take a seat. The next pose we're going to think about is called Lotus Pose. Lotus is a beautiful white flower that grows on the lake. Have you ever seen those before? They're very pretty. There's the water and then the flower goes straight out of it. You can take a lotus pose in your legs as well, but you just cross your legs. Maybe one of your feet comes on top. If that's not comfortable, just regular cross-legged position works. Our hands will make a flower. Can you see my hands? I'll come a little closer so that you can see. So you bring your thumbs together and your pinkies together, and then make a little flower. Open your petals. Good job, everybody. So we have our lotus flower and our lotus flower legs. And that's the next thing in the story, is that the warrior went to a small island where the lotus flower grew. He picked one white and extraordinarily beautiful flower so he could bring it to his treetop house. Isn't that great? The daily trip ended. The warrior and the monkey slowly rode on the elephant and returned home together. Let's try one more time our warrior and our monkey. You ready? Okay. Let's try the warrior first. Separate your legs. Point your right toes to the right. Left toes point forward. Bend your front knee. And you're a warrior. Now, in this part of the story, the warrior is riding home. Take a breath. Bring your hands to the hips. Bring your right toes to point forward. And remember when we were riding the elephant? But this time it's a leisurely ride, riding home. Nice at the end of the day. Let's try our warrior on our other side. Ready? Bend the left knee. Left toes point to the left. Right toes point forward. Arms out. Bend in. Take a breath. The warrior at the end of the day. One more breath. Last breath out. Bring your hands to your hips. Point your toes forward. And let's ride again on the elephant. Riding home to your treehouse. And remember the treehouse? Let's bring our feet all the way back together. Let's go back to our treehouse. Balance on your left foot. Right knee out to the side. Foot might come up the leg. Hands can stay wherever is good, or maybe you make some branches to your beautiful tree house. Imagine you're the warrior coming home to your tree house. What does a tree house look like? Does it have walls or windows, a door? When you're ready, bring your hands to your hips. Put your right leg down and your left knee out to the side. Opposite side tree house. Oops, I always lose balance on this side. What about you? Find your balance as you're ready. Hands can come to the hips, that usually helps. And imagine you're in your tree house. You're coming home. The end of the day, the warrior comes home to his tree house. Take one more breath here. Bring your arms down and your foot down to the ground. Good job. And who is he with? The wonderful friend, the monkey. Last time, let's do our monkey pose. Come on down to your knees. Right leg comes forward. Go ahead, straighten that. And you're the monkey, but this time the monkey's riding on the elephant behind the warrior. Woo, 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 woo. Good job. Hands to your hips. Bend your knee. And let's just do the other side. Straighten the left leg. And we're riding on the back of the elephant. Woo, 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 woo. That funny monkey. Okay, bend both of your knees. And you can take a seat, but I'm going to come up to stand and we'll see what happens at the end of our story, shall we? All right, the daily trip ended. The warrior and the monkey slowly rode on the elephant and returned home together. The warrior climbed quickly to the top of the tree and placed the lotus flower in a pot with water. Isn't that nice? And then sat in front of it in the lotus pose. He closed his eyes and sank into a meditation and pictured a beautiful white flower and listened to his breathing. Isn't that a nice way to end the day? So should we end our practice with our lotus pose? Let's try it. You'll stay seated. Let's take a little stretch first. So bring your feet together, your knees out to the side like a butterfly. We'll try our butterfly pose just for a moment. You can rock a little side to side if it feels okay. You might even bring your butterfly wings up and down, up and down. Good job, everybody. Now bring your feet in towards you. One foot might rest on top of your thigh or in the crux of your leg. Okay, so now once you have your legs set, remember our lotus flower shape. You bring your pinkies together, your thumbs together, and make your flower. Can you bring your hands up over your head like you have a lotus flower on top of your head? Let's take 3 deep breaths here. 3, 2, one more breath, and just bring your hands to the heart. Imagine you're the warrior at the end of his day, finishing with his last few breaths in his meditation in his treehouse. Relax your hands and let's take 2 more deep breaths together. Open your eyes if they're closed. And let's take one more stretch. Bring your arms up over your head. Take a stretch up. And bring your hands to your heart. Give yourself a little bow. Thank you all so much for joining me in our My Yoga time. I had a great time. I hope that you did as well. This class will always be posted on Wednesdays at 11 o'clock on YouTube, and you can watch them anytime. And as I mentioned, we do have previous classes. They're each a half an hour long, and they start from the first story, which is the more easy poses, and then as you get in, you learn a little bit more along the way. All right, thank you so much again for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.